is I, Sebastian Piccioni, and this is F3G2 coming at you super echoey from an undisclosed secret location. Victory for Sim! Alright, let's jump right in and start reviewing some books. First off, the new 52 has offered us its version of Secret 6. That's right, Secret 6 #1 is out. And what makes the new 52 Secret 6 so good? Two things. Gail Simone is writing it, so therefore it's actually Secret 6. Even with new characters, and there are a bunch of them, it's actually Secret 6. And two, Ken Lashley. Right? Ken Lashley is on the art, and it is phenomenal. That man can draw. And there's just, it's like facial expression palooza in here. And there's a quirky little cast, including some people that we've seen. Okay, Catman's on there, so we're good. We're already good. Black Alice is back, so that's good.
Sweet.
The new 52 female ventriloquist from Gail Simone's Batgirl is here. So, new character, but established new character, and Gail Simone established new character. So, we're good. There's also a guy called Big Shot. He's a big bruiser of a private eye who has the power to get bigger. Think sort of a non-monstrous, the Hulk and Harvey Bullock had a son. That's a good. I think that's as good a description I'm going to get across to you. And then we've got Strix, the former Birds of Prey reformed, semi-reformed Talon, and there's another woman called, I don't remember what. Oh, there's two actually. But it's already, we're deep in a mystery. Catman is claustrophobic, like ridiculously so, and things are not going to end well for everybody. It's everything you could ask for. So check that out. On a total opposite mood note, Justice League 3000 JL3K. This is like an all Booster and Beetle issue. In fact, it's twice the Beetle, almost 3 times, because there are 2 Blue Beetles. There's a guy who found Ted's secret stash of one of his hidden beetle's nests and is going around in a Blue Beetle costume with a modified the Bug. But he's a big fat guy with like Doc Ock beetle arms, and he's kind of, so you've got Beetle and Booster. Booster, unfortunately, is trying to deal with the fact that when whoever woke him up, they took his Legion flight ring and they took his force field thing. So he seems to, I don't even know if his suit is doing the energy blast capacity at the moment. He's just as, let's go with the word useless. He's just as useless as Ted. Great issue. Felt so good, so right. Please, people, buy this damn book so that Booster and Beetle, my blue and gold, can have a home. Next issue we're getting Ice. Eventually there's fire of one form or another. So we've got like a mini JLI happening while the regular Justice League is still setting up shop. And Wonder Woman is completely psychotic. But what are you going to do? Men of Wrath number 3. This book is good. It's not a happy book. Jason Aaron and Ron Garney. Ron Garney killing it on the art. Jason Aaron doing what Jason Aaron does best, writing some high-octane, yet clearly seek-a-therapist kind of stories. And yeah, the Men of Wrath continue their tradition of being assholes and potentially killing each other. This should be like a really great HBO or Showtime series, miniseries kind of thing. That's the level of this. Swamp Thing, number 37. Charles Soule ain't off it yet, so I'm still happy. And Jesus Saez on art, we know, always makes me deliriously happy. Who's coloring this? Because they're doing some beautiful stuff here. Let's find a title page, probably to the back, because I looked in the front. No, the last page doesn't have one. Where the hell do they hide this information? Why the hell do they hide this information? But, there we go. Matt Hollingsworth, coloring the shit out of this thing. I don't know if that's a review or not, but that's what I'm doing. Just coloring the shit out. The things that are supposed to glow. There's a lot of... He's got to do shading so that some people look like they're shiny, hard, slick metal. Some people look like actual people. Some people look like they are vegetative plant matter, and other people look like they are decomposing, while yet other people look like they are mold, spores, and fungus. And the coloring really... See, I mean, Jesus Size's art is beautiful, but Jesus Size has that very... One of the things I like about Jesus Size's art is it's very strong, powerful, clean lines. It's the coloring that makes the different tones really come to life, the different materials that everybody's made out of. But this book has been so good. I'm going to cry when Charles Soule is officially off this and over at Marvel, because I'm going to read that Wolverine's Weekly, God help me, because it's Charles Soule, but I don't see anything over there being as good as Red Lanterns and Swamp Thing were over here. Gotham Academy number 3, little more insight to just what the hell is going on. There's potential ghost. We've got some relationship issues, and this is Becky Clendon is writing it, and I don't know if Fletcher's first name is doing the artwork there. Brendan Fletcher. No, written by Becky Clendon and Brendan Fletcher, art by Carl Kerschel, and colors by Geyser and Masasi K and Sergei Lapointe. A lot of people coloring this one. Really good. Looks animated, looks like stills from animation. It's just really, really good stuff. Legendary Star-Lord number 6, the not-so-perfect date. Star-Lord and a hologram of Kitty Pryde go out on the town, or really out on the galaxy, and everybody that's been hunting Star-Lord lately shows up trying to kill him. We also get the reveal of Mr. Knife, despite having possibly the lamest code name ever. This bad guy, Mr. Knife, turns out to be someone all too familiar, and we go, oh shit, and it takes away any potential lameness that the name Mr. Knife might have, and instead makes this, oh shit, even our boy here admits, I'm in trouble. Kitty Pryde continues to guest star across the Marvel Universe. In fact, you know what? Let's wait here. We'll do the Kitty Pryde trifecta, right? Legendary Star-Lord, guest starring Kitty Pryde. Hulk, guest starring Kitty Pryde. The Hulk goes to Kitty because he wants to remove... She does brain surgery on the Hulk by phasing in and out. We also find the Hulk is, all right, sorry, not the Hulk anymore. Doc Green is a complete Machiavellian douchebag and has really set it up so that even on the nights when he has to finally sleep and Banner comes back out, Banner's pretty much screwed. And he's now having dreams of being the Maestro, the evil, bearded, bald, killed the entire Marvel Universe Hulk from Future Imperfect. So, that's not great. And Kitty Pryde, again, in Axis Revolutions, we get Bad Girl Kitty Pryde robbing a bank. I continue to just not really like the Axis stuff. We have Sandman's being a good guy and getting screwed over for it, but I'm not sure how that's an Axis thing, since Sandman has been a good guy before and has just been being a good guy, and one of the few parts I liked of this current Fantastic Four story. So, what else? Batman Eternal. We jump 2 weeks past the capture of Hush. Alright, so this is Batman Eternal number 35. The new status quo, further dealing with Bruce Wayne, Plumper. There's a lot of cooks on this, but they're not rooting the broth. This is still just a really, really good read. It's my favorite of the weeklies. We'll get to that in a second. Here's a second. Future's End 31 is okay, but at this point, between what's happening here with its possible future and a lot of the Earth 2 characters being on Earth, between this story and what I'm reading now in the actual Earth 2 weekly and the regular Earth 2 book, where a couple of people from our Earth, well, some originally from that Earth, but have been on our Earth for a while, are now over there. I'm having a hard time separating what is, in my head, I can't remember what happened where. It's a little too much with some of the same characters, and a lot of overlapping themes, so I've got what's actually happening versus what potentially happens in this. I'm intrigued by the new version of Firestorm, though not enough to have them. I don't want them to make any changes to Firestorm in actual time. So, there. Sinestro, number 7. Cullen Bunn writes the best Sinestro since Jeff Johns. That's a bold and powerful statement, because Jeff Johns made Sinestro, he gave him a core. He made him not just evil Green Lantern. He made him not even entirely evil. He just made him
a man
with not quite good intentions. Let's go with noble intentions through dickery means. But Cullen Bunn writes him, I would fear him. You know that cocked eyebrow look people love to draw Cullen Bunn, and not Cullen Bunn, love to draw Sinestro in. Well, this is Ethan Van Sciver drawing Sinestro. So not only is it the best written since Jeff Johns, but he looks like he does when Jeff Johns writes him, because that's, you know, when Ethan was on the book. So Ethan draws, like, I think at this point, the definitive Sinestro. It's just the way it is. And Cullen writes him, so you know, like, it didn't even need to be in the script for, you know, draw him with the arched eyebrow of, and that haughty look. He wrote him so that you could hear it in the dialogue, that, you know, Sinestro says this, but he says it like a dick, you know? And what makes Sinestro such a great dick is he's right with most of the things he's being a dick about. And that just makes it, like, you can't even be like, you know, you're fucking, God damn it, fine, you know? John Stewart has like 3 of those moments in this issue of, Sinestro, you just,
shut up.
Fuck you, you know? And then has to do it, you know? So it was a beautiful thing. Cullen Bunn doing what Cullen Bunn does best, the Sixth Gun. Oh, I love this book. Things have taken a turn slightly in the favor of our heroes, but by the end of this, things have taken a turn highly against the favor of our heroes, which is to be expected. There's also a heartbreaking moment with a character I didn't think would break my heart to have anything happen to. And it did. It was just really, really well done. This is such a great book. I tell you every time I review this, buy the trades, read the book, post in the comments, holy shit, Sebastian, you were right. Mostly because I've never seen those words before, so I'd like to see somebody say that. Lobo. Cullen Bunn is so good, I'm reading the new Lobo. Lobo, it's crazy talk. Lobo number 3. We get a little glimpse into Lobo's part in the death of all the Zarnians. And this is more, turns out that everything original Lobo told us was a lie. Not just in so much that apparently the original Lobo had nothing to do with it, but also in that there's more of like, there's a famine being started by a coup, so people are dying, and it's not just, you know, it's not just that either of the, you know, current Lobo or original Lobo stood up and said, I'm a frag everybody. I'm gonna be the only one there is, Bastich, blah, 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 blah. I do wish that they had done something with the, the Zarnians seem to have their regenerative powers. I miss the each drop of blood becomes a new, although that power is kind of a bitch to write and deal with. So I see why they dropped it, but it was kind of a cool aspect. We find out where their next case is, because Lobo's on Earth. The only thing I don't like about this, and it pains me to say there's something I don't like about a book that Cullen Bunn writes, I hate this human cast. I don't think he needs them. I think it takes me out. It's hard enough to get people to accept this Lobo. I think giving him this human cast takes away. I think just make this Lobo as sleek on his own kick-assery as you need, and I think these guys, I think they hinder that more than they help. So I like new Lobo. I don't like new Lobo's supporting cast. Wolf Moon, #1 from Vertigo, written by, who could have written it? Oh my God, it's Cullen Bunn. I seem to be reading several Cullen Bunn books. How could this be? It's almost like...
Have a problem?
Yeah, it's almost like I'm just shy of creepy Cullen Bunn stalker. And
Just
it's really
shy.
just because, well, I'm far too lazy to stalk anybody.
All right, I'll give you that one.
If I were more motivated, if I were 10 years younger, I would totally be a creepy Cullen Bunn stalker. Just hanging out his window going, do you write his script? Can I read it? It looks good. This is my laundry list. Socks. Good. You made me feel for those socks. But Wolf Moon is a werewolf story of its own. The twist for the werewolves is it's not passed through the bite or the scratch. The werewolf is more of a supernatural concept that after each full moon, it just departs its host and just randomly grafts to somebody. So it looks like, as far as our werewolf hunter is concerned, that the only way to stop the werewolf is to kill whoever's got it at the time. But at the same time, he's not a cold-blooded killer. He knows it's not the person's fault. But every time he doesn't kill the werewolf, it then goes on to kill like a whole shit ton of innocents. So there's that dilemma of, do I kill someone? Each time I don't kill this person, I feel like all these other deaths are on me. But do I just kill an innocent person who, after the couple days of the full moon, won't be a wolf anymore? Where's that line? So it's a twist on the werewolf theme, and it's good. Oh, new X Factor number 17. It's X Factor versus some Axis-ified X-Men. So the X-Men are douchebags. We're fighting an evil version of Longshot, a twisted Axis inverted Longshot. Who knew such a thing could happen? They also fight, what's his face? Sunfire? Is that the, yeah, that's the Japanese guy. But he's often a douche, so it's not as big a thing. They do some damage to some of my favorite people. The worst part about this book getting canceled is that this book is great. The second worst part is that I don't think anybody's going to pick up. When Peter David writes characters, Peter David does things with these characters that nobody else would have thought of, and they end up to be great, and then I don't know which is worse, when no one else picks up on it because they just don't no one else can write the characters like Peter David, or worse, when they try and they just expand upon what he's done and it just doesn't work. Like Spider-Man 2099, originally, after Peter David stopped on the book, it just wasn't the same. But Warlock and Danger have this great relationship that seems so obvious, like there should have been such potential there. But no one saw it until Peter David, because he's freaking Peter David. And I'm going to feel sad when this is over and they just put Danger somewhere in some X book and Warlock is shoved to the back corner, because really what they need to do is some of the New Mutants are in the X-Men and some of the New Mutants are in the Avengers. They need to take a handful of surviving New Mutants and a handful of surviving New Warriors and make a New Mutant Warrior book and mix that match. And because there's the book that the world needs and doesn't know is there. A team with Speedball and Justice and Cypher and Warlock. That's the book. The world had no idea. They can team up with Howard the Duck and it'll be awesome. Action number 37 was
A book?
a book. Yeah, I have. I didn't hate it. I both like and dislike the art in parts. I guess the review I'm trying to give is it's inconsistent. And the story, creepy Smallville. I read that in Jeff Lemire's Superboy. So this really is not doing anything crazy enough for me. Escape from New York picks up pretty much right where Escape from New York ends, and way before Escape from LA happens. And it's Snake comes to Florida, and it turns out Florida's just as fucked up in the twisted 1980s post-apocalyptic future as it is today. So
Kind of hard to tell.
really, I didn't notice. Yeah, there's a wall around it, and it's apparently seceded. But other than that, it's still Florida. But this was really good. I love that Boom is doing a bunch of different frozen in their original time Kurt Russell things.
Yeah.
I want. I'm wondering if somebody can do. I think Michael Allen Nelson should write an ongoing series for Overboard. I think that's. I think that's the one we need next.
Sad part is you're absolutely serious about that.
Yeah, I'm totally serious. I would read the fuck out of that book. All right, here's where I confess. I'm only pseudo-cerebral. Odyssey number 1 by Matt Fraction and Christian Ward. My review is, I knew I was fucked.
When you saw Matt Fraction.
When I saw Matt Fraction's name on it. But when I saw that the first page,
What the it's still going.
the first page is this like 52-part fold out that makes this gorgeous picture. The art on here is by Christian Ward.
What the
It makes
hell?
this gorgeous panorama of future-y things that goes along with this. Here's a chart of like,
Oh.
I
That's
guess
the
the
Star
known
chart.
universe. Here's a timeline of events. Basically, Greek mythological events thrown into a yeah, this, I didn't make it through this, and then I was reading the story, and I don't even know if I can refold this again. I may have to go buy this, because they can't put it on the shelf, because I can't refold it. You know when you see the name Matt Fraction that your mind is about to be blown. But he didn't just blow my mind with this. He scraped it out of my skull with like an ice cream scoop, threw it on the floor, stepped on it with muddy cleats, and then moonwalked across it. And that's my review. On another sense, this is exactly what you would expect if Rick Remender and Matt Fraction got stoned and were both possessed by the spirit of Jack Kirby while on conference call with Steve Ditko, and then went to Grant Morrison's house, called up Alan Moore, and said, hey, let's do Greek mythology.
That sounds like it should rip the universe asunder.
Don't ask me to repeat that, because I don't remember what the fuck I just said, but that's my review of what Matt Fraction did to my little head. Angela, Asgard's Assassin, was good. I don't know much about original Angela, and I know that this is Asgard's Assassin, although she's not having, as of this issue, she has nothing to do with Asgard. The Asgardians show up in the end to tell her, you're fucking nuts. And Thor, no, wait, scratch that, not Thor, the Odin son, has shown up, and he's got Sif and the Warriors 3, and yeah, they're gonna have a little chat with Thor's erstwhile baby sister. So he's good. The Woods, number 8, James Tinian and Michael Diolanus. It's so good. It's private school gets sucked up to an alien planet that is kind of set up for a giant experiment. One of the kids is tapped directly into the experiment. There are like medieval knights on this planet. All sorts of crazy alien creatures. They've got, Dr. Robot, the space monkey. This issue, they're flying around on, they're riding some kind of like green bear lion thing, and they're flying around on like feathered serpents. But it's not just crazy out there sci-fi. It's like one of those deep sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, intrigue, espionage in space kind of things. It's good. Aquaman and the Others. My boy goes nuts. That's right. This deals with a team called Mayhem, and they're up against the Others, and they're mostly interested in Vostok, the Russian clone who has a tie-in with them, and what do you call it? My boy, the heck is his name? Why am I blanking on his name?
Prisoner of war?
Yeah, my boy, the prisoner of war here, he's kind of out of it at the moment. He's possessed by one of the ghosts that he normally speaks to, who's hell-bent on revenge because he swears that it was what's his name, the agent who killed him. So this ends with the two of them fighting because, I'm Gary Korak, not Dominic, Gary Korak, the man you killed, ready to do the same to you. We know that there's going to be an eventual, it's been in the solicits that someone on the Others is going to die. I'm hoping it's not my boy, especially since they could easily kill, they could easily kill the agent. I swear that's not his name either. He's the operative. They could easily kill the operative because he's got like his grandson in tow who could easily step up and be like the next operative. So, Fight Like a Girl, number 1, from Action Lab. This is written by, what is his first name? Come on, give me a title page. Why do comics just hide freaking title pages?
That's the new thing.
Comic books. What's the page? There we go. Creator, writer David Pinkney, and art by Sue Lee. This was really good. There's a girl whose brother is terminal, and she doesn't know what to do, so she makes a deal with all the gods of formerly worshipped pantheons kind of chill out together, and they have this wishing well that you can go into to make a wish, but you have to do tasks to get there. This one, she ends up fighting they have a term for it, but basically someone who can change their shape. It starts out as a T-Rex, goes through a giant snake, what's their word for it? Polysymbiote. And she goes through and becomes like a whole feast of things, she's a giant octopus. She's something that might be a bull or a ram, I'm not sure. And she has to fight her and slay her as one of her 9 tasks. She's not too keen on the idea of having to kill things, but she's willing to do it for the sake of her brother, who's the only family she has. It's really good. The story is really good. It deals well with the whole I know what I'm doing is not great, but I'm doing it for great reasons, and I'm not going to turn back now kind of issues. The art is really good, except oddly enough for the T-Rex looks great, but once we get to the other animals, it reminds me of like 4th grade me drawing in my notebooks at school, because there's like this snake that's breathing fire, but none of the pictures of the snake, they all look like someone looked at a picture and drew it, and it comes out kind of lopsided. The snake's fangs, instead of looking like they're like this, come across as looking like they're like this. So they're just little moments. And then there's that, like I said, that could be, I don't know, I think it's a bull or a ram, I don't know what it's becoming. So everything else was really strong, just unfortunately, whoever this Suli is, the animals weren't their strong point, and there was a scene where, there were a couple of pages where they had to draw like 4 different animals in a row, and it just kind of got away from it. But still, the rest of the art, great, the story, great. Given, if I were to scale this out of 10, the art wasn't enough to bump it. It was a 10, but the art problem was small enough that it wouldn't knock it down past 9, so. Grayson, number 5, was really good, an all-desert issue. Tim Seeley doing some great stuff on here, and the art is Michael Janine. It's just good. We've got a baby in the mix. We've got some great. What people were worried about with this book was that this is such a different direction for Dick Grayson. But that tagline that hooked me into the book of "You may know Nightwing, but you don't know Dick," wasn't just a double entendre. In a market where so many books come out and say, yeah, we're going to try and get down to the core of the character, and then they just make these changes that leave nothing left at the core of the character. They made fundamental changes, but they have, this is so Dick Grayson. Everything he does is, this is the Dick Grayson who, in pre-New 52, was like the heart of, of the DC universe. This is the Dick Grayson who can inspire like Superman and get results like Batman, but without being as blinded and single-minded as either of them. Like Superman set so many, or pre-New 52 Superman would set so many rules and morals for himself that he was almost crippled. Batman, of course, is all about the job at hand. This is the Dick Grayson who can bridge both of those and be an inspiration, and it's great. It's just such a great piece. Earth 2, number 29, and Earth 2, number 9. My review for them is that when we get back to the store, I'm telling the gang that they can pull me off of the list for this. I don't need these in my pull list anymore, because it was my favorite book in the New 52, and it's not now. So that's that. Quantum and Woody, Valiant-sized Quantum and Woody, one shot, so amazing. It's just Tim Siddell and James Asmus do the writing, and oh my God. And we've got Perry Perez and Brian Level on art. This first story is amazing, and then even more amazing is the way it affects everything with what seemed like a throwaway gag now introduces a smart, competent, brilliant Woody, who goes by Woodrow, from another dimension, who ends up stranded here to become their greatest enemy because it's our Quantum and Woody's fault that his world is gone.
Oops.
And it's just, they just broke him so completely and so quickly that he's become his ultimate evil. Jack Hammer, Usurper number 2, by Brandon Barrows, and art by Ionic, which is always, again, that's always my favorite part to say is Ionic. Our hero almost kills himself getting the job done, but his lady love is on the line, and it's really, really good. I love everything Brandon Burroughs writes. Everything I can get my hands on. I may even hunt down some of those weird little sci-fi magazines that he gets his poems in, because, as we've established when we did the Cullen Bunn part, when I like someone, I just become unhealthy about it, really. So, Brandon, I'm gonna send you flowers. And backup story, equally good, equally fun. It's good, kind of noir, but not heavy noir. And it's, you know, he's a retired superhero turned private eye, and still stuck in a world full of, you know, there's everything from street level intrigue to more powered stuff, and it's just good. Turok, number 10. I love me this Turok. He's in England right now, and where, just like in the real world, the English look at the tribesmen of the Native Americas and go, oh, savages, and then they're, you know, the proper royal family proceeds to do things that the savages would never dream of, because, you know, vicious. So who's the real savage? And just like in the New World, Turok has proven smarter than they anticipated. I gotta get the trade. Turok and Magnus, those two are good. Shaft, number 1 from Dynamite. It's like Shaft Year 1. It's the origins of John Shaft. And it's really good. And there's something in, I don't know who colored this. Colored by Danielle Amiwa. The coloring gives it this great old comic feel that really works for Shaft and the time period. And whereas the story and the art are great, and the story is by David Walker, and the art is by Bilqui Evely. Bilqui Evely, I don't know how you pronounce that. But they're both top-notch, but really it's Danielle Amiwa's coloring that just makes this work and give you that vintage feel. Dr. Spectre, look at little Dr. Spectre playing checkers with Cthulhu. Oh no, that's great. Dr. Spectre is fun. It's my 3rd favorite of the, what do you call them, of the Gold Key Valiant books. It's Mark Waid writing, so really that's all I need to tell you. And Guardians 3000 is okay. I love me the original Guardians, but this isn't enough to hold me. So this has also already been put on my don't bother poem list for me anymore list. All right, that's a lot. Hopefully you're able to hear me over the echo and make out any words I was saying. Peace.